Hello, everybody. My name is Eddie Laporte. I'm the Executive Director of the New Jersey Office of Faith-Based Initiatives. And this webinar will be focusing on our social entrepreneur and enterprise development seed funding opportunity. Today, we will focus on the grant guidelines. We will take a quick tour of the OFBI grant page, and we'll also access the application, and I'll navigate Sage to give folks a sense on how to navigate Sage. To download the application and access supporting documents, our website is nj.gov/state/ofbi.shtml, or you can do what I do and Google New Jersey Office of Faith-Based Initiatives. When you get to that page, click the home button if you don't land on that, and scroll down to Spotlight and then click Grant Opportunities. Make sure to download the grant guidelines and follow along. Our Sage website, Sage is the portal where our applications are done. The Sage address is www.sage.nj.gov. When you're using Sage, you can use one of these three browsers: Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, or Firefox. Do not use Google Chrome. If you use a Google Chrome is not compatible to Sage. So if you use Google Chrome on your end, it'll look like the application is completed. It'll look like the application has been submitted. Excuse me. But when we get it, because you did it on Google Chrome, it'll be a blank application, and we'll have to, it won't be able to be reviewed. Remember to always hit the save button in Sage. Sage doesn't have an automatic save feature. Any questions? The easiest way to get in touch with us is via OFBI by emailing us at ofbi@sos.nj.gov. That's ofbi@sos.nj.gov. All right, now we're going to go live. I'm going to take you to the OFBI website, and then from there, we're actually going to navigate Sage. Let me just give me a second here. Let me see if I can do this thing here. There we go. So now we're on the OFBI webpage, right? So once you Google OFBI and you land on our page, make sure that you're landing on the home page. When you land to the home page, there's two boxes: Spotlights and Trending, right? If you click the Instant Connect link, this will ask you to register and it'll automatically add you to our email distribution list, where you will get funding information on funding and other resource opportunities. But back to the grant. When you get to our homepage, you scroll down to Spotlight, click Grant Opportunities, and it'll bring you to our grant page. Right? So today, a webinar will focus on social enterprise, entrepreneurship development. And that is, you click this link and it'll bring you to the grant guidelines. But I just want to take a quick tour of this real quick. For the board resolution is here. You'll click this link, and this board resolution is a fillable PDF. We're asking, printed names is fine, because this little statement says that the parties agree that this agreement may be electronically signed or printed, and the electronic signatures appearing on this agreement are the same as handwritten signatures. So you click that box, and a printed name is fine. We're in COVID. It's going to be hard for people to file signed documents, right? Excuse me. If you scroll further down and click Technical Assistance Webinar, or if you come to the navigation bar here and click Webinars, it will take you to our webinar page. Now, if you've never applied for a grant from the Office of Faith-Based Initiatives or ever used Blue Sage, I'm not worried about Green Sage, Blue Sage, then you need to register, right? And this webinar here, which is a 5-minute webinar, will give you step-by-step instructions on how to register into Sage. Once you're registered into Sage, you'll get an email from the Department of State saying you now have access to Sage. The next thing we need you to do is watch this webinar, which is Step 1 Organization Information, where it walks you through the steps on the 5 documents that you need to upload in the additional profile information page. You need to watch this webinar. Then when you're done with this step and this step, then you can watch the webinars associated to this particular grant, which is this one, Social Enterprise Entrepreneurship Development Grant. And or if you want to apply for special projects, and or if you want to apply for social innovation and or special projects. This link down here, this webinar down here, Introduction to Logic Model, will not be there. All right, so that's our webinar. If you scroll further down, we're going to have a series of Q&A to answer any questions you may have. So if you click this link, this grid pops up, and as you can tell here, that the Social Enterprise Entrepreneurial Development Grant Q&A is scheduled for 3/17 from 12 to 1, and this is its link. If you want to sit in on the other Q&A sessions, then the dates and the times and their appropriate links are going to be here as well. And we're going to try to stream this on Facebook. I've tried it once before and I just couldn't get it. So hopefully by the time these dates roll around, I'll be able to stream them on Facebook as well. Okay, so now that we took a quick tour of the OFBI website, we're going to click on the Social Enterprise Entrepreneurship Development Grant link, and it pops up here, right? So this is a revenue generating grant, right? It's really set up. We used to have two pots of money, right? Startup and growth. We got rid of startup because we only funded like 2 last year and 1 this year. So now it's just growth, right? And the application is due May 21st at 4:59 p.m. This is a 2-tier system, right? So the written application, the maximum score that any one organization can receive for the application, for the written application, is 70. If the written application scores 39 or below, it will not be considered for tier 2. For tier 2, the pitch, the maximum score that any one organization can receive for the pitch is 30. In order to be considered for funding, the combination of the written application score and the pitch score cannot be 69 or lower. That's why if you score a 39 on the written and you score a 30 on the pitch, your maximum score is 69. So you can't get recommended for funding. So if you score a 39 or lower, you're not even going to be asked to come to the pitch. All right, these are the eligibility criteria, right? You need your 501c3 determination letter. You need the Division of Consumer Affairs charter registration number. You're going to need the Division of Revenue business registration number, and you're going to have to be in good standing. We do not fund houses of worships, public, private charter schools and school districts, colleges, or universities. Seed is now seed. It's not seed growth or seed startup. It's just seed. The maximum request is $20,000. The total amount for this funding opportunity is $100,000. We average about 5 grants a cycle, so that's where we got that. That's where we got that. So the seed grant project will provide capital formation investments, or it's a grant, to existing social enterprise ventures with the intent to leverage the seed project capital investment with other private investment designed to grow and eventually scale the enterprise, right? The program period is from July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. Again, if you score a combination of both tier, if you score a 39 or lower at tier 1, you're not going to be recommended for funding. Applications that rate 69% or lower will not be recommended for funding. So these sections correspond with the SAGE application. So the executive summary, we're asking you to answer these 2 bullets. Indicate the title of the project, indicate the amount that you are applying for, and purpose of the social enterprise venture. Will show that all clients receiving services are low income, and explain how you will verify their low income status. Statement of collaboration, briefly indicate the role of each collaborating partner. We're not asking you to upload support letters because it's COVID and it's just going to be a challenge. So I'll show you, you'll have to upload 3 summaries into the SAGE application. The next section is social enterprise venture concept. In this section, we want you to answer these 2 bullets. Provide a brief history of the organization and what prompted it to develop a social enterprise venture. Explain in detail how the purpose of the venture aligns with the mission of the organization. The description of business, product, or services, we want you to answer these 2 bullets. Describe in detail the product services that will be brought to market. Describe the strength of the industry and the venture's competitors. That's key, right? If you're in this space. Social opportunity recognized. We want you to answer these 3 bullets. Describe the social issue that is being addressed. How will the venture help the organization address the social issue? And what are the specific ways that make the approach a socially entrepreneurial approach? Business, social, and goals and objectives. We want you to answer these 2 bullets. Business goals, what are the business goals and objectives, and what are the social goals and objectives, right? Defining the market. We want you to answer these 3 bullets. Indicate who comprises a market that is requesting that the social issue be addressed in a manner that the proposed social enterprise venture would address it. Describe in detail the willingness of customers to pay for the service or product that's being brought to market. Describe in detail the willingness of clients to participate in the social enterprise venture. The next section is called organization management team. Who are the key management personnel? Who are the key players in the social enterprise venture? What are their key relevant skills? What are their bios? Stuff like that. You don't have to. We're not asking you to upload resumes either. All right. Operation plans. We want you to answer these 4 bullets. Describe in detail the design of the social enterprise venture. Describe the manufacturing process if applicable. Describe the physical facilities and equipment, and describe any regulatory and or legal issues that must be addressed. The budget. You must complete budget forms in Sage. Now, unlike our other funding opportunities, there is no limit to the amount of the grant that can be used for personnel. Everybody else has an 85% max. Seed doesn't have a limit because I don't look at it as a social service program. I look at it like a business. And so, you got to acquire and get some talent. So there you go. Under required appendices, you need to upload the board resolution. You need to upload sales and revenue spreadsheet, maybe for the last year, right? For last year, let's say, and projected sales and revenues. Now, listen, we don't have a template for this because if you're in this space, your accounting office or your bookkeeper, you should have this stuff in place, right? And it should be a real simple spreadsheet. What were your sales and revenues from last year, and what are your projected sales and revenues for FY 2021? When you get the grant. This language down here is templated language. We want to make sure that there's non-discrimination by religious organizations and entities, that you recognize cultural sensitivity. They talked about reporting requirements and the like. All right, so now we're going to go to the goodness. All right, hold on for a second. Let me move this over here. Hold on for a second. All right, so now we're going to go to Sage. We're actually going to go to Sage. So, oops, let me log out of here. Here we go. So now that you have access to Sage, this is our demo site where we test all our applications and reports, but we also use it for educational purposes. So now that you're going to apply, you put your username and password. Sage can be temperamental. You get to your home page, and the first thing we want you to do is your My Task page is not going to look busy like this. It looks busy because all the departments in the Department of State test their applications here. The first thing we want you to do is scroll down on the View Available Opportunities and click View Opportunities. Then we want you to come to Providers and open the drop-down box and choose NJ Sage _DOS, DOS. Then on the document instance, we want you to write social enterprise and click filter. All right. So then what should pop up is, if it doesn't, scroll down till you find social enterprise entrepreneurial development 2022. Servicios Latino is our test agency. So if this is correct, it should be the name of your organization here. If this is correct, you click Apply Now. This is the agreement page. This link takes you to the general funding guidelines for the Department of State. This link will take you to be able to download the grant guidelines, where you should already have them, and you can get it from our website. You click I agree. And then you're on the application page. It says application in process. The first thing we want you to do is hover over forms menu and click profile information. Now, in the webinar page that I showed you earlier in this webinar, you know, the first two are, did you register for Sage? And the second one is information, organizational information. So you have to watch that webinar to upload all your documents. Usually this is empty. And the only thing that you have to fill out is this part here, right? So you fill, you fill this out. I'm a Jet fan, so I'm gonna put, Curtis Martin, because he's a Hall of Famer, right? And you want to click this checkbox on the bottom, and you want to come up to save and click save. What this does is it populates all that information that you uploaded into the additional profile information page from the first webinar, from the second webinar, which is step 1, and it populates all that information here. If for some reason you click save and a red hand pops up here, click save again, because it usually takes Sage 2 times to populate everything over. So everything is fine here. You hover over forms menus, you click selection of grant category, and you only have one category. See, seed is grayed out. Seed startup is grayed out. So the only category you have, you want to put a title there, and you want to click seed growth, and then you want to click save, or you can click save next, and it'll take you to the next form. All right, so everything is fine here. You hover over forms menu, you click organization contact information, and you see the stuff here with these asterisks here. They're going to be filled in once you click save, but you have to fill this bottom section out here, anything with an asterisk. So I am going to put in Curtis Martin, because he's my man. And the name of the organization is the Jets, and it's at 123 Jets Way, right? East Rutherford, New Jersey. That's a zip. That's the telephone number you have to put. There's no asterisk for the fax. I don't even know who faxes anymore. Anyway, web address, that's fine. But if you don't have to go. There's no asterisk. Under project director, we're going to put Ms. Jennifer Lopez, right? She lives at 123 J Rod Road. Get it? J Rod. That's in Miami. That's in Florida. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the telephone number is this number here. If you have a fax, you could put it. But listen, I'm never going to fax you. Nobody in my office is ever going to fax you. Chief Financial Officer. You want to put that. You want to put. I'm going to put down Mrs. Mo Money. Right? The telephone number is that. You don't have to put a fax number. You have to put an email address here. And the agency-wide budget, I'm going to say it's $1 million. Well, you put in whatever your agency-wide budget is. You scroll up to the top, you click save, and then you'll see that this stuff down here populates automatically. All right. So you see the green light, it says continue. Then you go to executive summary. This is when you need the grant guidelines, because in the executive summary, we're asking you to answer the 2 bullets in the grant guidelines. I'm not going to repeat myself because I already went over it early in this webinar. So I'm just going to put test here, go up to the top, click save next. By clicking save next, it'll save this page and it'll take me to the next page in the order. So now we're at the statement of collaboration. You have to put 3 organizations here. So you're going to put the name of the first organization. I'm going to put test 1. And in here, you're going to put a summary of what that organization's role is with you as it relates to this grant that you're applying for. You go up to the top and you click save. Don't click save next, because we have to do this 2 more times. All right, you got the green light. So you scroll up to the top and you click add. It wipes this out, or it gives you a second page. Then you'll say, okay, this is the name of my next organization. And in here, it's the summary of what this organization is going to do as it relates to this grant for us. You go up to the top, you click save. You have the green light here. You go up to the top, you click add. It'll give you the third page. It'll blank this out, give you the third page, and you put the third organization in. And you put the summary in here of what they're gonna do with you as it relates to this grant. You click save. And then all three organizations should line up in here on this drop-down box. Everything is fine. You go to over forms menu and you go to business plan. You click business plan. Under business plan, it'll follow what's in Sage. So it'll say social enterprise venture concepts. You're gonna need to answer the bullets that are associated to that. Description of business, product and services, and the grant guidelines. There's 2 bullets associated to that. Social opportunity recognized. There are bullets associated to that in the grant guidelines. Business social goals and objectives. There are bullets associated to that. And so all of these have bullets that you need to answer, but you need to read the grant guidelines. For our test purposes, I'm just going to put test so we can keep this moving. Come up to the top and you could click save next because it'll take you to the next page. All right, and now you're at the personnel page. So if you're gonna do you can't mix folks that are gonna receive a fringe benefits and folks that are not gonna receive fringe on the same personnel page. So if you're gonna have those 2 groups of folks, you'll do 1 page with fringe, right? And I'm just gonna put a fringe number here. Right, and then you'll put in, I don't know, let's say it's coordinator 1. And the staff name is what? And he's making or she's making $30,000 a year. They're working 35 hours a week. They're gonna work 20 hours, let's say 15 hours on this grant, and you're gonna charge the grant. It's a $20. There's no max, so you're gonna charge. Let's say you're gonna charge the grant $15,000 to pay for the salary. You go up to the top, you click save, and Sage is calculating all this stuff. All right. All right, so there's an issue here, right? So whenever you see a negative here, it's because the person's not working enough hours. So let's change the hours to 20. Let's see what happens. Come up to the top, click save. Because we don't want any negative numbers here. All right, perfect. So Sage is saying, all right, it's making 30,000. They work 35 hours a week. They're gonna work 20 hours on this grant. You're gonna charge the grant $15,000 for what? The total amount should actually be $17,143. So Sage is assuming that the other $21,143 is coming from some other funding sources. If now you want to add people with no fringe, you come up to the top, click add, and then repeat again. And then you click save, like I did here. The green light shows up. You hover over forms and you go to consultants. So what's that? 16,200. So when you get to consultants, you might be like, oh, you know what? I think we wanna, hold on. 16, what was that, 200? I think that gives us $3,800 left. I think we want to get a fund developer in here, or marketing expert. So let's put marketing expert. I don't know. You come up with a reason for that, for what he or she is going to do, and you're going to charge. The total cost is $3,800. You're going to charge the grant You're going to charge the grant $1,000, let's say, because he or she is doing you a favor because they just love your organization. You're going to click this box here that says that the consulting services demonstrate a true employer, non-employee relationship, because no employee can be a consultant for the organization. So you go up to the top, you click save. That gives us a balance of $2,800. All right. You go to forms menu, you scroll down to other cost categories. And what you want to try to do here is, drop down the drop-down box. And these are the main costs: travel, space, equipment, consumable supplies or office supplies, not food, not refreshments, office supplies. Anything other than these four go under other, right? So let's say you want to do admin costs, right? Expenses not yet realized. And let's say the estimated cost is $1,500, and you're going to charge the grant $1,500. That leaves you a balance of $1,300. Let's say you want to purchase some type of equipment. I don't know what that equipment might be. I don't know. Let's say it's cost $1,300. You're going to charge the grant $1,300, and then you go up to the top, you click save. All right, so that saved it. You got the green hand, you hover over forms menus, and then you scroll down to overall budget. Click overall budget. All right, so there's nothing for you can't do anything. The only thing you can do on this page is click save, and it'll populate all the numbers from all those other budget forms onto this page. The grant request cannot exceed the maximum, which is $20,000, and it doesn't, so everything looks good over here. You hover over forms, you scroll down to required appendices, and the only thing we're asking you to do here is upload 3 documents: your board resolution, your sales and revenues, and your projected sales and revenues. So wherever that's at, you browse, you find it, you click, and you add to it. Same thing with that one. You browse, you find it, you click, and you add to it. Same thing with this one. You browse, you find it, you click, and you add to it. Oops. Oh, boy. Okay. Then you click save. Then you hover over forms menu and you scroll up and down, make sure that there's no red hand. If you see a red hand anywhere here, it's letting you know that there's an issue on that page and you have to go in and fix it. It'll tell you what the issue is. So to submit the application, you hover over status changes, and under application submitted, you click apply status. You get to the agreement page, you click I agree. And the application status is application submitted. So that's the step-by-step for the seed application. So if you have any questions, you can come and check us out on our Q&A session. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.